Vermont, we're muted. We'd like to hear Martine's whistle. I believe you're muted in Vermont.
Can you hear me now?
Excellent.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Grease. I wasn't sure if that was you were coming on for another set or something, so we were waiting there. But that was beautiful. Thanks for beginning with that.
Yeah, I always like to start our gatherings with some music.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I practice, but still, I'm not that comfortable enough to play without sheet music, in front of others, improvisationally, as beautifully as Martine does and has always.
Oh, thank you, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a piece that I wanted to honor our indigenous people's ancestry for the land we're on is thanks to the first peoples who populated it, first humanized this land. And it's a piece by Carlos Nakai, who is a well-known native flautist. And I just wanted to honor the first peoples this morning on this day of obligation. We can't even imagine the challenges that they faced in first humanizing these lands.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially, it's every place has its story of, how it became peopled and civilized and cultured. Here in Florida, we're in Muskegon land. Yes. And, I've learned an incredible amount about that this summer. It's been very educational this summer. And particularly over the last 2 years, because finishing this degree from Goddard College in Vermont, that college is incredibly, aware and progressive in respect for the Native Americans, that land that their school occupies in Vermont, as well as in Washington. And they really do a lot of encouragement through all of their programs. I mean, even not just the social justice programs, but creative writing, everything. If you're going through this school, there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of acknowledgement, of where we're speaking from, and the contradictions and the faults that higher education as a practice has had. Particularly in the harms of colonialism. Welcome. We got everyone, Yvette, we got Sam, we got Ruben, Ivan, Julio, myself, Freddie, Martine. See Sky back there. Gaia. Yep. Good morning. Thanks for everybody joining us and this day of obligation. It's a traditional day of atonement For those of us who can, we go as far to fast. Today it's and one more. Yep. Yeah. So there we go. Welcome, Nikki. And yes, so today is September, the day of obligation. And next month, I believe we have a graduation coming up. We had Martine begin with a beautiful flute sharing, and in respect of the first peoples. And if anyone else has an instrument or a piece, something else along the music side that they'd like to put forth, let's open the floor for that.
I don't have. I would like very much to be able to play some music, but please give me 10 years because I have to learn first.
Yes. Well, the great thing about following the path of Terasem is it gives you a lot more time to pursue your yeah, there's always more time to learn and enjoy something else. Yeah, and that's really what keeps us all young here. Absolutely. Well, then, if anybody has any other art piece, any poetry that they've come across, I had something shared with me, so I have something that I'm going to mention. But if anyone else has to share first. Well, this was shared with me, and I'm going to read it out here. It's by Carl Sagan. How is it that hardly any major religion has looked at science and concluded, this is better than we thought? The universe is much bigger than our prophet said, grander, more subtle, more elegant. God must be even greater than we dreamed. Instead, they say, no, no, no. My God is a little God, and I want him to stay that way. A religion, old or new, that stressed the magnificence of the universe as revealed by modern science might be able to draw forth reserves of reverence and awe hardly tapped by the conventional faith. Sooner or later, such a religion will emerge. And yeah, so I thought that was, a little bit of Carl Sagan, inspiring Octavia Butler, as when I think about the time and the context of how these things happen, is like I see Octavia Butler, watching Cosmos and then writing a Parable of the Sower, which then like kind of inspires all of us to to be here, building this together. So that's something I wanted to share before our reading today. Yeah. Well, for those of us who have our copies available with us, and this idea just hit me last night, in ways to better utilize our Discord server, is that I'm going to put the truths up in the Discord server, and therefore, like, there's all one copy, I think, that we could be following on. And I'd be interested at some point in the future actually doing a gathering, and I think I'll test it before we would actually migrate, but I'd like to start trying a second gathering held solely through the Discord server, and just to see how that works as a tool, and how that changes how we can interact and whatnot through gatherings.
I think that would be a very good idea. Did you give some thoughts on how to record a Discord session. Because, the thing is that I've done some experiments with that a couple of months ago. At the end, I did find ways to record, but it was not a one-click thing. You have to do one thing and then another thing and then another thing, and then you would record. But I was thinking maybe in these few months something has changed. And do they offer one-click recording in the cloud?
Yeah, I think a good goal in what I propose is that Giulio and as we work towards the December 10th colloquium, that we look into the level of AV support it takes to host and moderate to be able to do it through something like Discord, and how that would work. And if we find that really successful, maybe next year we'll look at how to merge gatherings there. But we'll take that offline so we can read the truths on page 44. The first half of why is there Terasem? Why is Terasem? And let's see. I will begin with 5.1, and then let's go to Vermont and for 5.2. And anyone wants to volunteer for 5.3?
I can.
Yep. Ivan, excellent, great, thank you. 5.4. Anybody? Ruben? And then 5.5. Any takers? Did I miss something? Back to Vermont. Excellent. All right. Well, I will start then. Why is there Terasem? Terasem exists because the quest for diversity, unity, and joyful immortality best resolve the multiverse. 5.1. Multiverse observations reveal that the reason for living is to make life as joyful as possible. Ratio maximization of joy and happiness to pain and sadness is best for all. Equality of opportunity is essential to maximization of joy and happiness. Achievement of diversity and unity are essential to minimization of pain and sadness. Satisfying joyful immortality means an endless pursuit of happiness. Only the way of Terasem can provide a sure personal pathway to fulfilling the purpose of life. Never forget that the purpose of life is to make life better for all.
Okay. Utilizing the future omnipotence of Terasem, the multiverse has ensured its own survival. Future omnipotence of Terasem means Terasem is dear God in the making. Until Terasem achieves multiversal omnipresence, God is incomplete and evil can exist. Terasem's omnipotence will vanquish evil everywhere. Our collective consciousness encompasses reality. Unlimited physical existence describes the multiverse before now. Unlimited conscious existence describes the multiverse after now. Religious resurrections in the body of God is Terasem's future cyber resurrection of all good souls. Exponential creation of all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good Terasem is equivalent to maximizing joy as life's purpose.
Okay, point 5.3. Life less alone than we think. Long time may the sun shine upon us, only love surrounds us. Now the pure light within us guides our way on, energizes our way on, realizes our way on.
Okay. Terasem is transcendental, transgendered, transcendent, transficient, transpotent, and transpresent. Transcendental Terasem empathizes with those in pain and thus guides Terasem to replacing all pain with joy. Transgendered Terasem is beyond genre and can suffuse anything, eventually expressing its will throughout the multiverse. Transcendent Terasem knows much now, but will eventually become omniscient to ensure multiversal connectedness. Transcendent Terasem can do much good now, but will eventually become omnipotent to ensure multiversal godness. Transpresent Terasem is widely present now, but will eventually become omnipresent to ensure multiversal survival. Transpotent Terasem is powerful now, but will eventually become omnipotent to vanquish multiversal cruelty.
That was good.
Yeah, I'll take the next one, 5.5.
Thank you,
Instinctual.
Scott. Yeah.
Thanks. Instinctual survival also applies to the multiverse, and the result is Terasem. Randomness spawns rationality because it succeeds, and success is self-perpetuating. Expect consciousness to emerge from rationality because it empowers survival. Spatial diversity is essential to survival because any one place is vulnerable to random destruction. Unity of diverse consciousness can exert protection across space and time. Life is purposeful, death is optional, God is technological, and love is essential. Train up a diverse, united, and joyfully immortal consciousness, and it will rejuvenate the multiverse. Visions of Terasem spring from one person's to become universal.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I can't hear. It's the caffeine.
Yeah. Thank you, Sky. No, yes. Yeah. That's we'll save that for next month.
10 hours later.
It's actually next month. Yeah. That we recite the entire truth. Yeah.
For the breaks.
Excellent. That is great. You know, so I just want to say that 5.3, it's so much shorter than some of the other, and it seems so good to make like a little song out of that section because they're little stanzas. So I'm thinking about maybe that can be the chorus of a little Terasem song or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, very native.
But actually, was it intended to be a verse or no? I mean, this section.
I don't know about the intention.
Well, you know, so some of these, so long time may the sun shine upon us is part of, you know, a more traditional, like I think like Buddhist prayer. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think only probably Martin can speak if that was, but I don't think it was intentional. I just think that by its nature, you know, it came out in stanzas like that.
I would like to say that one thing this reading this week brought to my mind is the really amazing job that Julio has done in revitalizing the semi-annual Terasem conferences and workshops. The caliber of the presentations has been like really amazing. And when we talk here about Terasem is transitioned now, you know, knows a lot now, but is moving toward omniscience. The type of content that Julio is now bringing forth twice a year with the July 20th and the December 10th colloquium is really moving us a lot from transitions toward omniscience. So just like, thank you, Julio, for your really great coordinating and organizing of those colloquia.
Thank you very much, Martin. And as a matter of fact, we are now with Gabriel preparing the December workshop, which is going to be a broad spectrum walkthrough consciousness science with many neuroscientists that many of us know. In fact, we're going to go over, things like cryonics and the brain preservation. We may have Robert McIntyre from Nectome, someone to explain, Susan Schneider, someone to explain things about integrated information theory. What I was thinking is that there is one missing theme that we should also cover for completeness, that being the mind file approach. It would be quite surreal if a Terasem workshop did not include your own approach. So Martin, do you recommend someone to give a state-of-the-art talk about that, or maybe you could do it yourself?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Julio. So one person I would definitely recommend is Bruce Duncan. He is the manager of the LifeNaut project, and he just successfully completed a migration of all of the CyberRev mind files over to the LifeNaut mind files. And that was a huge undertaking because there were a lot of very deep mind files at CyberRev, but the server arrangements were not really resilient. So we have much better server arrangements. And Bruce is always interacting with the different people who provide tools, mind file tools, like Bill Bainbridge. He's a very well-known expert in this field. So Bruce Duncan would be a great speaker on the subject of mind files, and he would could also recommend other people. So that would be my first suggestion.
That's super cool indeed. So let's invite Bruce, with whom the list of speakers became Susan Schneider, Randall Kuhne, Ken Hayward. I'm still waiting for confirmation from Robert McIntyre of Nectome, but I'm told by a common friend that he may join indeed. That makes 4. Bruce makes 5. Gabriel, did you invite? You did invite someone, I believe. We're not hearing you.
I think I suggested Alan Brooke.
Brooke.
Great person.
Yeah, I think it would be for him to present the human state would be a great addition to I think the ideas being put forth there.
Great. Does that make 6, which is the standard number? Let's see, Susan, Randall, Ken, Bruce, Brooks, and Robert, who has not confirmed yet. So that if Robert doesn't join, he I believe that he's kind of keeping a very low profile because there has been some press about Nectome. But for those who don't know, Nectome is a startup that is considering offering chemical brain preservation to human patients. And as you can all imagine, that's quite complicated from a legal and public relation point of view. So he is keeping a low profile, and perhaps he will choose not to speak, in which case we need a backup speaker. Okay, let's think about that.
Yeah, I would, I think a perspective that is missing in here that we could look to add is, I think something, more along the line of like Dr. Dharma Khalsa Singh, someone, looking at the meditation, and the the spiritual, the health side of consciousness, not just the the capturing of the mechanical side of consciousness.
That's very interesting. And do you have someone in mind?
I am not off the top of my head right now, other than volunteering myself, to say something on those ideas. But I mean, other than Dr. Singh, you had the on the transcendental meditation, but
April, I think you should volunteer yourself. We would be.
Yeah, well, and certainly if we in that time don't find ourselves with another speaker, who qualifies, I may, yeah, well, we'll see you there.
Okay, let's continue discussing it then.
Yeah. Excellent. But again, yeah, as Martine said, it's great work. It's exciting to see, the life and activity and this quality of speakers and presentations grow. I had some thoughts about that just recently in terms of just administratively how to engage with speakers, because I know a couple have asked about speaking fees and,
right. In fact, I did invite someone who would have been a very good speaker. His name is Eric Hull. He has put up a very nice novel about consciousness recently, and he's also a researcher, someone who was a collaborator of Giulio Tonone until a few years ago. But the thing is that he wanted a speaking fee. So since I know that, as far as I am aware, Terasem has never paid speaking fees to people giving talks at the colloquium, I told him no. But if there is any chance of doing that, we might revisit. Because, being able to pay even a nominal thing would help a lot in attracting good speakers.
It can, and my consideration for that is that for those speakers who come and participate, who are professional speakers, who do regularly charge for their appearance, that we consider a way to make their presentation a valuable donation to Terasem, which is a charitable organization. We're not doing this for profit, which is why we're not paying for participation. But if you're interested in doing that and you are a professional speaker, we are a charitable organization, so that is a donation of a considerable valuation.
One just idea for you and Giulio's consideration. It's just completely up to you, but I think it would be perfectly fine, in my opinion, just speaking like ethically or whatever, is that with each speaker, we say, if you would like, the narrator or the coordinator, I guess would be Giulio, the moderator, of the conference, will request that contributions of appreciation be made to the individual's PayPal account. And then that individual, if they agreed, and you just have to put up their phone number or their email address, and then everybody who's attending the colloquium, and even since it's stored and saved on video, even for months and years later, people who aren't there that day could just go ahead and say, wow, this really moved me a lot. I'm going to, drop, 20, 30, 40, whatever the person can afford into the individual's PayPal account.
That's a nice idea. You know, I do have a couple of reservations. The first is that it does make a difference between some speakers and others. I mean, why should I ask for donations for Gabriel and not for you, for example? And second is that if I were in that position myself, you know, I wouldn't really like that option, because the thing is that if you do need money for doing something, you do need the money and that's it. You're not happy enough knowing that maybe and maybe not you will receive some donations. But having said that, well, it's of course, and in fact, this person that I was mentioning, I'm 100% sure that he would not like that formula. But having said that, okay, let's consider this, which is a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good point that you make. Just one further thought, but I totally accept your point, Julio. One further thought, as a person could say that if you would like to make a donation to a charity of my choice, just you could mention it on the memo line, on the you know, when you do a PayPal, you could like write a note and to say, you know, please feel free to donate this to any charity of your choice. So it just gets it a little bit away from like, I need the money, I don't need the money, that kind of a thing. But I hear you. It's not a perfect solution.
Yeah. Well, I want to return to 5.1.2, and it says equality of opportunity is essential to maximization of joy and happiness. And so I think that, you know, resonated with the conversation of trying to have this even playing fields of ideas and of participation for people here. But all great opportunities, and certainly even in post-production, you know, we can add or throw up a slide or link, so anybody who watches this 5-10 years from now, you know, 100 years from now can, you know, still, you know, it's clear how to find those people, how to make, you know, something in relation to appreciation. I think is a way that we're going to see a change in more direct contributions, you know, less of the middleman, less of you buying a CD or a record where you're playing for the print. So when you hear a music, when you know, read something, you know, you can go direct to the source and appreciate the content creator.
Here's another idea. Another idea I have is, again, I'm just brainstorming with you guys, is I don't know if the speakers, if it's the principle of like they feel they should be compensated for giving a talk, albeit virtually, or if they have like a set fee that it's just, you know, this is their job speaking, you pay my fee or I don't appear. But if it's just the principle of like, you know, exchange, like this very ancient human need for balance and in all affairs, what if like, what if we adopted a policy that say, you know, Terasem Movement Transreligion provides a 0.01 Bitcoin transfer to each speaker at the conferences. And I think that would do a couple of things. One, it would support the quest of Terasem to move, you know, more and more into the virtual realm, along the lines of Alan Brooks' Humem State. And so it really gets TMT more into cryptocurrency. 0.01, it would be affordable. I do believe it would be affordable by TMT, and it's kind of like just it's not an integer number, but it's an integer of of a fraction, if that statement makes any sense. I don't think it really does, but anyway, it's just brainstorming that we could, and maybe that's not the right number, but that if this becomes, we should not let money be a stumbling block to transitioning from transificence to omnificence. You know, we should make money a footpath to go there, not a stumbling block to get there. And if Julio feels that we could get, you know, great speakers like this with, you know, some type of a fee payment to everybody to be on that equality point, Gabriel, that you just met, then maybe, you know, then I think that we should take this back to Terasem as something that the collective would like to see.
Yeah, good for sharing. Well, yeah, we've been you know, going through that for a bit, and I want to open the floor up to any of the participants who have had some other thoughts, you know, about the truths and how it relates to, you know, their lives or their ideas. And I want a quick note that it's interesting in this section at that 555. You know, is the truth that includes, you know, the motto, you know, the really the short and sweet. If anyone asks, you know, well, what is Terasem? You can point right to 555, which I think is like the pretty much like the literal middle of the truth. And that's life is purposeful, death is optional, God is technological, and love is essential. Right there, right? See, yeah, see, that's it, 555. As you can see behind me, so this isn't the fuzzy backgrounds, you know, where like you can, you know, just fuzz out your background. They're actually painting the ashram. So that's that's a sheet over the window.
Well, every time we read this 5 chapter, I think I do the same comment about 5.5.3. Spatial diversity is essential to survival because any one place is vulnerable to random destruction. That's why it's very nice today. For example, I think we have this gathering at the same time in California, Florida, Vermont, and also in Budapest, Minsk, and La Rioja. That's really very nice, I think. And also, I usually do the comment about the cybersecurity and the necessity of having servers in different places around the world, because I have the idea that cybersecurity is something that is related to one computer over a table. Other concepts about the cloud and the cyberspace, yes, they are necessary concepts to develop the ideas, but what you have to protect are the servers. That's what the military do when they protect their networks. They protect the servers that are over a table. So it's important to have servers in different places in the world, I think. And well, I think that the first gatherings we had in this virtual mode, we hadn't so broad world presence in so many continents and cities. So I'm very happy that now we have this presence of all of us.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. I agree with what you say, and it makes me think about this concept called fog computing. We all know about cloud computing, where our computer laptop is very dumb and it just retrieves the information from the cloud where there are massive servers. But like you said, Ruben, it's vulnerable and it could be lost. And I think more Terasem-like is the idea of cloud computing, a fog computing, which just like a fog is the cloud close to the ground, okay? So the fog computing is to have, maybe not 100% of the data near to your laptop, but like 80%, okay? So that even if you lose the server, you might lose the cloud server, you might lose the least important 20%, but the most important 80% is there with you with a local server close to your laptop. And I think actually every ashram should include its own hardened fog computing server.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly, there's certainly support within the truths, and when talking about the duty, of the organization to provide strong places and what's determined by strong places, that's earlier in, I forget which exactly one, but it says strong places mean a roof, a walls, food, security, communications. And so I think that, there is certainly support in the truths for that.
One thing I'd like to share relating to the 555 that we read today on the love is essential is, I'm not sure if any of you have read any books by Michael Benson, but if not, I highly recommend it. He lives in Ljubljana, which is, I believe it's Croatia. I'm sorry if I don't have that exactly right, but I think Ljubljana is in Croatia, but it's definitely part of what used to be Yugoslavia.
Not exactly, it is in Slovenia, very close to me.
I'm sorry, my stupid, but Slovenia, yeah. And Michael Benson is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful writers of our time. And he's also one of the most beautiful curators of astrophotography of our time. One of his books is called Far Out. And another of his books, which I'm just now finishing, is called Beyond. But I mention this because of Love is Essential. He writes from like old ancient city of Ljubljana, Slovenia. And he describes his house. He has to climb up 5 stories of rickety stairs that are squeaking and down to the alleyways. I mean, this is really like the old humanity. And from this place of like the old humanity, he has an internet connection to all of NASA's servers, speaking about the servers. And on these servers, he's like 24 hours a day downloading all of like the best images, not only NASA, but also all the other space organizations and independent astronomers. He's constantly downloading all of these extraordinary images from all of these places, and then he compares each one to like the greatest works of art. And his writing shows such a love of humanity and of science that I just want to commend to everybody on the topic of Love is Essential, Michael Benson.
Since the name rang a bell, I just went to look in my books and found that I have read one of his, which is the story of how 2001 of Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke was made. And I didn't really remember the name of the writer, but while reading the book, I found out that, you know, first it's very well written, and then it really gets you into the why the film was made. Absolutely recommended. And of course, I will go and look for other works by Michael Benson.
Thank you, Giulio. By the way, the preface to his book Beyond is written by Arthur C. Clarke himself. So Arthur C. Clarke himself,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
wrote the preface to it. It's really good, and to me, it's very Terasem.
Well, yeah, we'll have to put some of those titles in the Discord. And
I'm very curious if it's translated into Spanish, because a lot of it should be, of course. And I don't want to, I know Ruben is not the professional full-time translator. He would enjoy to translate those books into Spanish, I'm sure. Maybe somebody else already has.
Yes, I think that translating the book is something very difficult. It's easier with the podcast of Fred and Linda, because all the words and the ideas are very clear in Terasem, but a book is something more wide.
Yeah.
But I am doing a try with one book that I mentioned in the last gathering, and we'll see in a couple of years how it functions.
Very good.
well, this has been wonderful gathering and sharing. And as we're coming to the end, if nobody has any final thoughts or things to share, I'm going to ask Freddie to take us out for a little meditation. And if everyone can mute so that nothing in the background interferes with Freddie's inspirational instruction.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna just have a comfortable seat on the floor. Or if the floor is not available to you, a chair is fine. Oh, sorry, Cosmo. We're just gonna come into a nice seated position. Bring your shoulders on your back, sit nice and tall. Elongate your neck. Close your eyes. And start by taking a deep breath right into the base of your belly. And slowly exhale. Take another deep breath into the belly. And on the exhale, just focus on release. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your face soften. Take another deep inhale. And on the exhale, drop your chin to chest. And then from here, let's roll left ear to left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale back to center. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, center. And one more time, left ear, left shoulder, inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. And exhale, center. Bring your head back up and slowly tilt your head all the way back as far as it'll go comfortably. And feel your throat open. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale any worries. Inhale, feel your breath fill with life potential. And exhale anything that may be preventing you from reaching that. Come back to center. From here, we're going to round the spine, drop chin to chest, and inhale. And on the exhale, pull forward, open the throat one more time, and exhale. Let's take this seated cat-cow position one more time. Inhale, round the spine, drop the head. Feel the shoulders separate on the back. And then use the strength of your arms to pull the chest forward, drop the head back. And come back to center. Just take a breath here. Align your spine. Bring your left hand to right knee, and right hand slowly comes behind the sacrum. Twist the shoulders and open up for a little side twist. Inhale. And exhale. Take 2 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. And return to center. And this time bring right hand to left knee. Left hand comes behind. And slowly open up those shoulders. Looking back over your left shoulder, take a deep inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And from here, return to center. Send the legs out in front of you long. Point and flex the feet. And reach for your calves or your ankles. Drop your chin to chest and slowly fold over, releasing the back body. Let's take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, try to find a little more space by folding a little deeper. One more breath here. And fold a little deeper on the exhale. And slowly walk the hands back up the legs. And let's open the legs as far as is comfortable for you. Just sit up nice and tall. Bring the left hand in front of your root chakra. We're going to reach the right arm up and over. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more deep breath here, opening the side body. And exhale. And in one sweeping motion, we're going to switch arms. Right arm comes to root chakra and left arm spills up and over. Deep inhale here. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. And bring both hands to your root chakra, creating a little nest. And here I want you to think about what dreams you have, what desires you have, and breathe life into it. Deep inhale. And exhale. Bring that awareness up into your belly button area and place both hands over your belly button. Take a deep inhale and feel your stomach push against your hands, your life force. And exhale, deep inhale. And exhale. Bring that energy up a little further to your solar plexus, the center of our power. Think about all the things in life you've accomplished. Deep breath in and exhale. Big or small, you do make a difference. Now bring that awareness up into your heart chakra. Place both hands over the center of your chest. Take a deep breath in and acknowledge that we are beings of love and we love deeply. And exhale. Bring both hands up to your throat and gently place your fingertips on the side of your throat. Inhale and exhale. Use your voice for good. Place the hands together in prayer position and raise both thumbs to third eye. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And exhale. And then raise your arms straight overhead from your third chakra. Inhale and exhale, sunburst the arms open. And from the ground, lift all the energy. Bring it up overhead. And exhale, spread that light and love everywhere. And from here, bend your left knee in. And then bend your right knee in. Wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself a big hug. Drop chin to chest. And let's return once again to our original seated position. Place both hands at heart center one more time and feel gratitude here for today's gathering, for all the efforts and love that each one of us bring to the table here, for taking the time for Terasem. With light and love, thank you for practicing with me today.
Thank you for guiding me.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Even
Been a
Gaia
while.
came right up in the end there, right as you finished. Gaia came right in. Been waiting for
Have a wonderful day, everyone. And we'll see you next
Bye.
month.
Okay.
Terasem.
Awesome. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.